Yes, the broadcast is live apparently, so we'll see. Hey everybody, I'm trying to figure out if I'm live or not. It's in one place it says that I am, and other places it says that I'm not. So let me know, somebody. First of all, I got okay. Now it does look like I am live here, and now we're live here, and so we are live. Hey everybody, I'm trying. Boy, that picture looks terrible. I wonder why that is. It doesn't look bad on the Facebook. I shouldn't wear black shirts. Say hey, Tomas.
Hey.
Look up here. There's a camera up here.
Hey, welcome to AldermanFarms.
Welcome to AldermanFarms from Tomas. We are glad you joined us. We just came in. Just came running in from our the first week of our Bible study. Give me just a minute. Let me share some things. Tomas, tell them about your day. What you been doing today?
Right on my four-wheeler and playing baseball and pretty much watching Jesse.
Pretty much watching Jesse?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you've played an awful lot of baseball.
Yeah. And yesterday we went to this big event.
Oh yeah, tell them about that event.
There was jumpies there.
And what else was there?
There was these what is his name that had those bat traps?
Mr. Richard.
He had these cool traps and they were drawing out people's names to see if they got 22 rifles or BB guns and dog food.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the y'all, I'm sorry. I'm kind of scatterbrained because we just literally ran in and finished setting up the microphone and everything. So it was a kids wildlife expo put on by the Southwest Mississippi Delta Waterfowl Group, and it was pretty amazing. It was totally free. The whole idea behind it was we put a video up. I forgot to grab the thumbnail to show on the show tonight, but if you go look back on our channel, we're actually talking to one of the directors, or I don't know, spokesman anyway, for the Delta Waterfowl Association, but they just want to have an event to show kids how many outdoor activities are available in our area. So they had catfish in a big tank that the kids could reach down and hand grab. They had the Mississippi Hand Grabbers Association. They had people there, hog hunters that go hunt and eradicate wild hogs, who have become quite a nuisance in many areas of the country. We're blessed that right here on our place we haven't had any problem, but just south of us, across Highway 84 and to areas north, west, and east of us, people have a lot of trouble with wild hogs, and so they had some dogs there. We show is one beautiful pit bull that had a big electronic collar, and he had a massive, menacing-looking head, but he just was the sweetest thing, and he just wanted some loving. And so there was that. They had trappers there. Mr. Richard was one of them, our friend Mr. Richard Nations. The Mississippi Department of Wildlife and Fisheries was there, and they had some training weapons, huh, Tomas?
Yeah, and we also should have brought Blue, too.
We should have brought Blue with us. I don't know. I'll say that, but
we didn't know there was going to be a lot of dogs there.
Yeah, so it's probably best we didn't bring Blue because they might not have liked Blue. But anyway, it was amazing. So North Dakota Pink says, Tomas, what did you think about shooting that bow and arrow? They saw your video.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was talking about bow fishing. That was a boat that they had with a platform you stand on so you can shoot, go fishing with a bow, and that's what and Tomas got to get up there and shoot that bow probably 5 or 6 times, I think.
No, probably 5.
About five times, yeah. And they had what we didn't realize is they also had some 4-H kids who were there actually competing in archery and shooting a BB gun. And so we didn't get a chance to do that. But as Tomas alluded to, they were giving away. So admission was free. All the events were free. The food was free. They had hamburgers and hot dogs and soft drinks that were absolutely free. And they also gave away about, 10 or 15 BB guns, brand new BB guns, and 6 or 7 .22 rifles. And Tomas's name didn't get drawn. We would have had to keep it in the gun cabinet until he gets old enough to have one. But he didn't win, but that was fine. It was just amazing. Great organization. So
we could probably earn one next year.
Maybe so, because they're going to do it again. So do us a favor. If you watch that video on our channel, there's a link in the description of that video that points to the Delta Waterfowl group on our Facebook page, not group. The Facebook page of the Delta Waterfowl, the Southwest Mississippi Delta Waterfowl. So we would appreciate it if you would go give them a like and maybe leave them a comment or a review on their page, telling them that you saw our video and you just wanted to thank them for what they're doing to encourage kids to get out and enjoy the outdoors. It really was a neat thing, and I hope people will continue to support them. So let me catch up with some comments here. Hey Deb, Kim, Sandra, hey Barb, Lynn, got quite a few on Facebook. Hey Red, hey Tank. Tank wants to know, okay, why is this the last live stream? Oh man. So the word is out. There are big changes coming to Alderman Farms. That's right. This is our very last live stream on Sunday. It's not our last live stream. It's our last live stream on Sunday. We are starting this week, in fact, this coming week, starting this coming Thursday, our show is going to move to 7 p.m. Central to 8 p.m. Central. We're going to be teeing up the Pratt Family Homestead, who will be on at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. And I'm hoping that I hope you're praying for the Pratts. They've got some heartbreak happening in their family regarding Michael's mom. I don't mind saying that because Michael has posted all about it in his group. But very difficult time for the family and not being in the same state and all that kind of stuff. So be patient with them. I don't know if they'll be back in the groove with their live show this coming Thursday, but eventually they will. And as soon as they are, we look so forward at the end of our live shows to be able to tell you, okay, everybody get out of here and go over to the Pratt Family Homestead. So we've had our show on Sunday evenings for a very long time because the church we attended until recently didn't have any Sunday evening activities. And we're now attending a little congregation pastored by a long time friend of ours. And we started a small group Bible study on Sunday evenings. Tonight was the very first one, and we literally walked in the door like 5 minutes before time to go live.
But Tommy made sure he had everything set up and everything.
Not quite.
Well, but I mean, you did what you could.
Yeah, I did what I could. Then I actually had some technical difficulties right before we left, and I said, man, I'm going to have to fix that when we get back. But it worked out pretty good.
Where's my iPad?
So we're doing a Bible study on, I wonder if you've ever heard of this, expository listening. A 7-lesson overview of Ken Ramey's book, Expository Listening. And we are very excited. It was just basically the introduction tonight, but you may have heard of expository preaching, and we won't get into all of that tonight, but you may never have heard of expository listening. I had never heard the term until I came across, until this material was presented to me, but it's good stuff. Mm-hmm. And we look forward to the study. All right, so let's see. Tell everybody, hey, Patti. Patty's here. Hey, here's Patti.
Hey, y'all. I'm trying to get my iPad up.
Oh, you need some help? You got it?
Well,
I got a
it usually
question.
sends me a thing.
I got a question.
What's your question?
Let money come in the video.
I'm here.
Here she is.
Is that your question?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. That was your
Oh.
statement, huh?
Oh, I said
Oh, there,
look at
well-
here. I said I didn't get the thumbnail from Tomas's from the
did.
Wildlife Expo, but I did. So there's the thumbnail from the video from the Wildlife Expo. So you look for that thumbnail on our channel. And
It doesn't really look like we were there. It looks like it's really nice and pretty outside.
yeah, it was. Oh, that was funny because the event was held in the middle of a monsoon, just about, and they still had. I think he told me 165 kids or something like that. I mean, literally,
Yeah,
there
it was
were
165. That's what
there
they
were
said.
tornadoes earlier that morning. Not where they had the event. It was in Liberty, Mississippi, but in Mississippi. Hey, two family. Miss Amy says, "Hey, Tomas."
Hey.
So with gorgeous weather, they ain't no telling how many kids they would have had, and it was a great turnout. So,
Okay, I got it up finally.
all right. So what do I need to do? Move over or?
I don't know. Or Tomas, you want to just sit in my lap?
No.
No?
No.
All right, yeah, I guess Papa will scoot over a little bit. We can get 3 of us in here. Scoot over and scoot back.
So we're so thankful to you guys who have joined, who have been so faithful to participate in our show, our Sunday show for all this time. We've been doing this quite a long time now, it seems like. And
Watch your fingers.
let me squeeze it. Ooh, pinch my leg. There we go. It's kind of
Now.
almost three's a crowd, but not quite.
Not quite.
And we look forward to, I hope that most of you will be able to join us on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I told Patti we're going to have to, having an hour-long show with somebody coming on after us again. We ain't going to be able to go into overtime. We're going to have to make sure to cut it off at
That's right.
at 8 p.m. or shortly before, so we don't hold folks up from joining the Pratts whenever they're back ready to go.
That's right. And hey, y'all, I want to remind y'all, if y'all are saying anything directly to us, a question or comment or whatever, please put it in caps. We'll have an easier time seeing it because it's hard to see if you're talking amongst yourselves or you're talking to us. So if you don't mind, you want to get down now?
Hey, Mr. Bill Arnold said, "Hey, Tomas."
Oh,
Hey.
Mr. Bill.
Hey.
Saying, "What's up, Holmes?"
What's up? And tell Ashton to watch, and Brunson,
What about
Well-
Rayleigh?
and Rayleigh.
All right, Tomas has had enough, so scoot on over, snuggle up, huh?
Save my chair.
I'll
Oh,
save
you're
it.
coming back?
I'll save it for you. Okay.
Monty's gonna keep it warm for you. How about that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really. I think it's like on top of yours or something.
Oh goodness.
Anyway. Ooh,
All
comes
right,
here.
so let's see here. Gosh, I just feel so scatterbrained. So because we
Yeah,
just
because we just
came-
ran in.
we just ran
well,
in.
Let's see. You put up a video this afternoon.
I sure did.
Of our lunch.
I don't have the screenshot of that.
Oh, you don't.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang
yeah.
on. Before we go to that, I forgot I did get this. You heard us talking about Mr. Richard a few minutes
Yep,
ago.
that's him.
Our friend Richard Nations, who was he's a wildlife. He's our Mississippi Big Bear. He's a trapper and wildlife nuisance wildlife removal expert. And his wife Tricia is a dear friend of mine that I met through work. And so we were glad to see Mr. Richard there showing kids how to build snares.
Yeah, there was kids walking around with snares and stuff. So it was really a good educational
and I don't think
outing for kids.
I don't think they were snaring their friends or anything.
No, I didn't
either.
see them snare their friends. They were being good.
Hey, Jamie at Red Duchess Farm is videoing a new felting project. Yes,
Tommy loves to watch felting.
I do. So, y'all, if you haven't subscribed to Red Duchess Farm, that's Duchess with no T, no, with a T, Duchess with a T, DUTCHESS, Red Duchess Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Not only subscribe, but make sure you hit the little bell to get all the notifications. Because Jamie's going to be, and you need to go back and watch the 3-part felting a hat, wet felting a hat with alpaca fiber. It's just mesmerizing. And so I've told her she needs to do one of a whole full-length dress, which she has done.
Yeah, she's got one. I don't know that she videoed it, but she's made a dress.
Yeah, so anyway, go click that bell at Red Duchess Farm and get notified of that and watch the magic happen. That's pretty cool.
Hey, Southern Arc. And Valerie said that her starter is looking great. She started it 7 days ago, so it's getting close to being ready to bake bread if it's not already ready. So you'll have to send us some pictures of how it turns out. I can't wait to see.
Indiana Spec, I'll try to remember to put a link to the book, Expository Listening. It's not inexpensive. It's a small little book. And I'll try to remember after this is posted to go grab a link to that and put it in the description. Because it's good stuff. It's good stuff. The preacher needs to spend his time preparing to deliver the sermon, but the listeners need to spend their time preparing to receive it, preparing to hear. And it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So
I want to say a special hello to Tim Beverly. He's
Tim!
here, yes.
Woohoo! Tim in the house!
I'm so glad you're here, Tim. I'm so glad you're doing good.
Yep. Good stuff. And Carrie Tarrant said she saw the pork rice video today and she will be trying that.
Oh, good.
Look, it was fine.
It really turned out good.
Yeah, it was so good, except the meat.
Tomas is not a big fan of meat. He eats meat occasionally, but it's not his favorite.
But
I like the ham.
We have proof that the rice was good because Tomas was actually the official taste tester in that video.
Yep.
So you may recognize that if you've seen it as I used that as in the thumbnail, and he gave it an unqualified thumbs up.
Yep, he did that on his own.
And the thumb is like going.
Yep.
Yeah, your thumb was like going crazy.
Hey, Laura.
Pressing the button.
But it was Tomas tested, Tomas approved.
Yes.
Hey, Southern Arc.
I can't see the thing.
All right, what else?
Anyway.
Oh, wow, Kelly's mom does felting.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. That's what I knew I'd seen something to say. I took a few little spills this week. We told that you guys had joined us on Thursday night about it, but
Yeah, our little impromptu thing.
And the first little spill I took, put yours down, baby. I was out there trying to fix fence. Tommy was out of town, and Corey was, I don't know where Corey was. He was around somewhere. I think he was over here at Mama's in the gardens over there at the trailer. And I was using this cable, and it was really long, and something got wrapped around my foot, and as I looked and pulled my foot, I got off balance because it made my hands move, and then I pulled my hands back, and
Wait. You didn't describe that nearly as well as you did last Thursday.
Okay, well, you
So let me back
explain
up a little
it.
bit. So there was a sag in the fence from when Honey was still here. Honey, our Jersey milk cow, who's now living with cousin Lamar at his farm because he's just got much more pasture with luscious grass for her.
Mm-hmm.
She cleared the fence to jump into the garden. You may have seen that video. We posted it a couple of years ago. And so, well, she's not here, and plus we had her in another area, so we never really repaired that fence. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. We just sort of rigged it up. And the goats have finally discovered it, so they were jumping over this low spot. So Patti had found some cable.
Rusty cable.
It's the kind of cable you use for like a clothesline, except it's not coated, and a little bitty skinny. And she was going to use it to put up a barrier.
Yeah, I weaved it in and out the top, and it was really long, so I had it doubled, so there was...
So she's pulling on this cable, and at the same time she's realizing that something is wrapped around her leg, but she didn't immediately put the two together.
Long.
And so and she pulled on the cable, and it was the cable wrapped around her foot, so she basically pulled her own foot out from under her. Whack! And I'm thankful she wasn't any worse for the wear.
Yeah.
It didn't,
and of course, I just hollered, Nobody heard me. Corey was the only one home. And so then I was taking this wonderful picture of Mr. Charles's comfrey that he gave us last year. It's doing wonderful. And I was trying to get, I noticed it, excuse me, when I was walking out the garden, and I was trying to get, just the perfect angle on it and everything. And so I was to the side and I was getting other stuff in the background, so I thought, oh, let me move around. So I sat on this bucket, and as soon as my rear hit it, it caved in. Yeah, it was dry rotted. And I went all the way down to the ground, and you can see the comfrey in the background, and you can see the bucket. I thank God
you
that
can see your glasses.
See my
too.
glasses on the ground. I didn't realize that till I got up to the trailer, and they weren't on my head anymore. And I thank God that it didn't cut me.
Yeah.
I had Corey look at my back. It was just like it wasn't even scratches. It was just red and everything. And do you know what Corey did when I told him?
He laughed.
He busted out laughing. He thought that was quite comical. And then I kind of thought, well, I guess it is pretty funny. So then I went back and took pictures. So I had to go find my glasses.
Casey, I agree wholeheartedly. Casey Phillips said Patti is looking amazing tonight.
Thanks.
It's making it difficult for me to concentrate. Marriage tips for men. Yeah. Anyway. Y'all,
I was
this
going to say
comfrey.
something else. But
go
anyway,
ahead.
what else happened to me? Something else. Oh, yeah.
What?
Put it back on me.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
See my bubble on my nose right there? It's really a blood blister. So then I had the man coming out to test the chickens.
And I'm gone.
This is the next morning. Yeah, Tommy's gone. And it's in the little new chicken pen. And we have some livestock panels that are going to have the little small holes, so they're really heavy. And I had pulled them together to lock the chickens up with a bungee. And don't you know, when I took that bungee off, it was under pressure. That thing, it went like that, and it caught. And I started grabbing my nose, and it did have a little speck of blood on it. I thought I didn't rip part of my nose off, but the man didn't see it. So, but I was like, oh no.
Those kind of things come in threes.
Yeah, that was 3, and that happened on the 12th. And the other stuff happened on the 11th, and that's what when we did the little impromptu live show on the it was the 12th, and they said Friday's the 13th, so you better be really careful. So.
Speaking of chickens, I don't know, and y'all forgive me if we did this last week, because last week was also kind of a hairy thing, and we had a bunch of stuff loaded up in the queue in our software, and I don't quite remember what we touched, but. The chickens, we've got our laying hens out in front of Patti's mom's house now, and they are loving it.
They're doing great.
They are just enjoying out there grazing and eating bugs, and I just got way too many roosters, and so we wanted to get them away from the roosters because the roosters were basically romancing them to death. I mean,
yeah.
Because
we had as many or more roosters than we did hens.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
And we had thanks to the dog attack partially because back prior to the dog attack, we had planned to process a whole bunch of those roosters. Then the dog attack happened, and it just threw everything off. And then after that, we just forgot, or one thing would lead to another. So we moved them, and their egg production had gone way down. We got, how many hens we have? 23?
We had 23. We have 23, yeah.
We have 23 hens right now, and their egg production had gone way down because they were under so much stress.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got them out there in their little temporary house, and we're getting, what'd you figure we're averaging per day?
We're averaging at least 15 a day, but some days we're getting like 18. One day we got 21. So we're doing really, really good with our egg production.
So and the eggs are so much cleaner because they're
we got the pen where we can move it, so it's not going to get muddy and stay muddy around the pen, their house. We can move the house and everything. Let me say this. I want to say hey to Linda Ennis. She's from Crossville.
Hey, Linda.
We're going to be seeing her the 4th and 5th.
Right, where?
At the Great Appalachian Homesteading.
At the Great Appalachian Homesteading Conference, May 5th and 6th in Cookeville, Tennessee, on the campus of Tennessee Tech. This is the 3rd annual. We can't wait to get there. It's going to be here before you know it.
Yes, it is. And yes, Tim, the ground did save me, but the ground wasn't very soft. Neither time. The first time I landed on my back, the last time I landed on my rear. So, but really, honestly, I haven't had any more ill effects. My back didn't hurt me no worse than
It's so funny.
before. So
She has a routine when things like that happen. The thing she says to me is, "Okay, remind me about this tomorrow."
yeah, he didn't have to remind me.
What she means by that is when I wake up hurting or
Yeah.
got some bruise or whatever, remind me that this happened. Oh goodness.
Hey, Tomas, come here. Carrie wants to know how your where are you? Come right here. Come right here. Right over here. He wants to know. They want to know how your patio garden is doing. Remember, you planted the sunflowers.
Oh yeah,
How are they doing?
good.
And
Are
you,
they
I've got
growing?
some other stuff for you to bring home that you hadn't brought home yet.
Camera's up here.
That you haven't brought home yet to grow on your balcony too.
Oh,
So-
what's to do on a papa's?
Yes, that would be good. So, so your sunflowers are growing good. I've told him we have to bring them back here and put them in a bigger pot, and where they'll grow nice and big and get strong. So,
All right.
and say hey. You want to say hey to Rayleigh?
Oh,
Remember?
hello, Rayleigh. If you're watching,
And Ashton.
if you're watching Ashton, hey, I know you are.
Speaking of the chickens, every time
Yeah,
you
man.
know my boy Blue, he follows me around as I do my chores, and so we've got this temporary gate. It's just a piece of fence that got stretched out. We're going to build a gate to where I can enter into the chicken pasture, and so Blue is always waiting for me right there as I get ready to come back out. That's the view from inside the chicken pasture, and I have to get out of the Polaris and go open the gate. And y'all, he just stands right there. I tell him stay. He wants to come in, but I tell him to stay, and he just stands right there. He's just such a good dog. He really is.
He really is. He's a blessing. Linda Ennis says we'll be hugging necks.
That's
Can
right.
you feel it? Yep, that's
You're
right. That's right.
Gonna be a bunch of neck hugging going on.
And Rock's Corner says, could y'all say some prayers for us? So they're fixing to go look at some property to purchase. So
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
we definitely will. And also, let's see.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna pray about that Rock's Corner. Something like that. I always pray, Lord, if this is it, open the door so wide that no man can shut it. But if it ain't it, slam it so that nobody can open it.
Yes, that's
'Cause,
right.
we
you
want
want
to make
the,
sure
you want the
that
right place.
that you're getting the right place. That's right.
And Mike Carey said, "Is there anything that we could do for the Pratts?" You know, I've been thinking about that. It is a very, very difficult time, and I know they greatly appreciate your thoughts and prayers. I don't know if y'all know that Jenny actually had a wreck when the van. Well, a deer ran out in front of her, and she hit a deer. They've totaled their van, and so they're in the process now of trying to find another van. They're having to actually rent cars. They had a car rental that they had to rent to go over there to see Mike's mom because the truck was in the shop, and then Jenny could get on back home, so Mike had to rent an additional vehicle to drive home. So, you know, I know that's not easy. That's not something you plan for, and that's not easy, and their van is broke, and so it's just hard. So, you know, whatever God may move on your heart to do, you know, send them a card, send them a text, just let them know that y'all are thinking about and praying about them. I know they appreciate all of that. So just, you know, whatever God would put on your heart, and if if you are thinking about something else, you know, we'd be glad to help out or facilitate anything, you know, that if God's moving y'all to do something else, you know. So
Yeah. Hey Tricia, I don't know if Tricia was on here in time to see her famous husband,
Does it take long to make me
Mr. Litchard.
channel?
That's an inside joke, but we miss seeing you, Tricia.
This one too.
I know you had
This is
rodeo
yours,
stuff
too.
going on, but we miss seeing you at the thing. And Miss Jennifer, no, not Miss Jennifer, but Rayleigh said Ashton and Branson say hi, Tomas. So
Hey.
let's see here. Patti, there was something else you found in the garden besides a broken bucket. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I found our first grapes on our grapevine. We planted them last year. We have two that have come back good. One died, but I actually have a little grape cluster, so I'm so excited about that.
Grapes, those are my favorite fruits.
I know, it's going to be amazing.
Isn't that cute? Little bitty tiny.
Yeah.
Little bitty baby grapes. A
Hey.
two-family homestead said Pine Meadows
Yeah.
Hobby Farm, a modern homestead, had a barn burned down last Friday.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Man.
We need to be in prayer for them.
Yeah,
That's
pray
terrible.
for those folks too, because that's
Oh my goodness. I
that's
just dropped
tough
it to my-
tough stuff. Oh, let's see here. Gosh, I just feel so scatterbrained, not having a chance to really get.
Yeah. Also, Tommy's going to be putting together a video. I actually last Monday, I think, I did a comparison on sourdough bread because y'all know I typically use yeast in my sourdough. Not a lot, not the whole amount you would put in if you were making a white loaf, but I did it.
Tell them why you do that.
I do that because I go to the farmer's market and it helps the second rise to happen a lot quicker. And so with my time frame, I'm not waiting on dough to rise all day. It'll rise in a couple of hours.
In order to
like
be
that.
able to start on Wednesday
Yeah.
and have it ready for,
For
ready
Friday
to bake
morning.
Friday morning.
No, Thursday I bake it, but it's ready to go to market
It's
on
ready
Friday.
to go to market on Friday morning. Adding that little bit of yeast just helps.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
Just a time.
But I had the question earlier in the week, I think, or the week before, does the yeast change the flavor and everything? And so I thought, well, I don't think it does, but, and so I went ahead and I did a comparison. And here's a picture. The bread on the right is made without yeast. The bread on the left is made with the yeast.
Interesting. It's a little different in color.
It's different in color, but I forgot to set the timer, so that may be my fault. Excuse me. I may have cooked it a little longer, but anyway, you can see that the one without the yeast didn't rise up quite as much. No big deal.
Not a big difference, is it?
No, not a big difference at all. And I think you call it the crumb. The texture of the inside it's very similar. In fact, maybe the sourdough on the right maybe has some bigger air pockets in it. But the main difference is that the one without yeast, I baked it about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It rose all day. So that's huge.
As opposed to what time?
I baked the other ones probably around 9 or 10, something like that.
Oh my goodness.
Earlier.
So 7-8 hours difference.
Yeah, it was a big difference, a really big difference. So that's why I do that, with the little bit of yeast, because it gets my baking done, usually for the market. And I bake a lot of bread. I usually mix up enough sourdough to make 24 loaves, which of course y'all know I put it into different types of loaves, so it's really more than that. I can be done baking easily by 12 or 1 o'clock on Thursday after I've mixed up my dough Wednesday evening. So
Yeah, so if you're not having to follow a tight schedule and you got time to wait on your bread to rise.
That's right. And if for whatever reason that you do not want to use commercial yeast or whatever, that's fine. And I mean, if you have time to be able to do it like that, and honestly, if I were going to make my bread that way, I probably would mix my bread up in the morning. I typically mix at night. I would mix it in the morning, let it rise all day, put it into my loaves at night where I could bake first thing in the morning. I would do it just the opposite of the way I do it now, where I could be baking in the morning.
Lynn Hawkins on Facebook says, Patty, do you think a person who is not good at cooking could follow the sourdough recipe?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Sourdough it's not hard. It's just different. And I'd be curious to know, have you ever baked bread before? Because if you have, it's even easier. If you haven't, no big deal. You can still do it. It's just, it is a learning curve when you first start making bread, because they say, mix your dough till it feels like this, or till it, because and all like that. But so if you know how dough is supposed to feel and everything, it would make it a little bit easier, but it's not anything you can't learn. And plus with YouTube, I mean, when I first started making bread, I guess YouTube was around, but we didn't have enough internet to watch YouTube. But where you could actually get a visual on it, how it's supposed to look and everything.
Yeah.
So yes, I definitely think you could make it.
Hey, I guess you never answered this. Valerie D said, "Did it taste the same?"
That's right. I'm sorry, I didn't see that comment. Yes, it tasted exactly the same. I was expecting, and you've got those clips. I made a video, and Tommy's going to put it together and put it out.
How many clips is it?
9, I think.
9.
I think it was 9.
I may put it together tonight, but it ain't gonna come out tonight.
But anyway, there was no taste difference at all. I really expected the sourdough without the yeast to be a little more sour because it had the longer ferment for the second rise, but it wasn't. It was not any more sour. So
I was thinking, before you said what you expected, I was thinking, well, I wouldn't see how yeast could change anything. But I wasn't thinking about, it's not just the yeast itself, it's the absence of yeast with a longer ferment. And you're right. When I think about it that way,
you thought I was stupid for making that video.
No.
Like, what's the point? It's just bread.
It still needs to know, but I'm just saying, when you say it like that, it does make sense that it would taste more sour with the longer ferment. But I don't know. Interesting that it didn't. So if you want to know more about what you can do with sourdough, don't forget to go to our website at AldermanFarms.net/ebooks and grab Patti's Sourdough Start to Finish ebook and see just what all you can do. But if you do that through the weekend of the conference, this discount code will be good. GAHC 2018 for $5 off. That's good until midnight on May 2nd.
Indiana Spec says, so could she leave the yeast dough out to rise? Wait, the yeastless dough out to rise while she's at work, and that would be all right. Yes, that'd be perfectly fine. It doesn't need your attention or anything. You can just leave it out while you're at work.
Unless you put it in some little tiny thing. You come home and it's going to be like the blob.
Well, but let me tell you this though. Are you talking about putting it into loaves and letting it rise, or just the dough? Because you want to see how your starter is reacting. Because some starters, it rises quicker than other starters. So you might want to be around for the first time you made it, just to make sure it doesn't outgrow or need to be baked sooner. So I would do that. I would keep an eye on it the first time, and then unless you're going to have it in a big pan and put it into loaves when you get home, if that's what you're talking about, because it wouldn't matter if it got big. You can put it in a really big pan, but if it's in bread pans and it gets too big, it's going to be on the counter. So, and it won't be bakeable after that. So
yeah.
And Kelly says she wants jalapeno bread. I'll make you some.
So we said we really weren't going to say anything about this, but I'm going to tease this way. I'm going to tease it this way.
What?
Well, we've just been kind of talking about doing a better job of getting more content up that you guys are looking for. We know we've had several people interested in more cooking type stuff, so we've got some of that planned, and we're going to try our best. Can't make any promises yet, but we're going to try our best to come up with a regular schedule and of uploads of certain type of videos on a certain day, blah blah blah. More about that as we come along, but we want to we want to give you what you want to see, and we want to become more. Consistency is a 4-letter word in my life, and so so just be praying for us in that regard. But hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll have some announcements about that, about some more regular uploaded edited content that'll answer a lot of your questions about sourdough and maybe some other things.
Yeah.
So
Rox Corner said, did it have a different mouthfeel? No, it did not. It felt the same. It probably was a tad bit packier because it didn't rise up quite as much, but it wasn't brick packy. It wasn't like a brick or anything. It wasn't. I mean, it just, if I wouldn't have known, I don't know that I'd been able to tell the difference. Okay.
Kim Farmer says, are you selling hard copies of both of the books at the conference? If so, how much?
I am, and I haven't, well, I say I am. I don't have them in hand yet, and so I do not have the price. So, you know, that's something I'm going to be working on this week. I had some samples printed, and just to look at to see how they turned out. This is one of the boo-boos on it. I have our social media links, and on the internet, and Tommy had to show this. He pointed out to me. I'm like, Tommy, they know you can't just touch it and go there. He's like, Patti, it says website, and I'm like, oh. So you know, that's a little boo-boo. The last recipe's printed on the back page and not on here, like that. So
print's too small, I think. You know, so
Yeah.
we gotta. But that's good.
I like this size book for the content that's in it. But I may end up getting this size instead. I don't know.
We're actually kicking around the idea of printing them ourselves.
It costs a lot more to do that. Yeah, we are doing that.
So we're working on it. We plan to have them available, but we can't answer the price question, I don't think, yet until we figure out how much it's going to cost to produce them.
I mean, they're not going to be $20. We won't do it if it's going to cost that much because it's not enough content to cost $20.
Yeah,
so, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
so
for the Instant Pot and also we just we're not going to do that. But I think we'll be able to find we'll be able to find a way to be able to do it. But if we are going to print them ourselves, we really got to get on that because we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So.
Christy Dennis says that she lives at 5,050-foot altitude. Does she need the newest Instant Pot? I don't have any idea. Do you?
I don't even understand your question, honestly. I mean, I know you're asking because you live higher and everything. We live almost at sea level.
Yeah, about 400 feet above sea level.
So I haven't even heard any information about that. So I'm not the right one to ask. I don't know. But from visiting with Tara and making soap with Tara and everything, I don't know what Denver is. I don't remember how high Denver is.
Pretty high.
But anyway, that was one reason I was having a problem with my soap and she wasn't, and I was using the same temperatures as her because her oils and stuff were a lot closer to boiling. Because their boiling point is 201
something
degrees.
like that. Yeah, that was something I learned.
Yeah.
I thought it was 212 everywhere, but it's not.
So her oils were actually hotter than what I was getting my oils because our boiling point is 212, and because we're almost at sea level. So I would imagine pressure cooking and stuff could be different too, but I really don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
Oh wow! The Chrissy said the new one has an altitude setting on it.
Then I would get it because you have some altitude. I would, yeah.
Well, and Nanda says the Instant Pot Ultra supposedly has adjustments you can make for altitude.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay,
That might be something Tara needs to look into as well.
Oh yeah, because her Instant Pot looked exactly like mine. The one that was broken. I wonder if it wasn't really broken.
Yeah, Denver's 5280. Yeah, that's right. If y'all knew that, Tara gave up on the Instant Pot assuming hers was broken.
She thought it was faulty.
It may not have been. It just may have been a function of the altitude.
Well, but the saute function, she said, didn't even work like mine, though.
Okay, then there probably was something wrong with
it.
it.
But I do need to mention that to her because if she is going to get another one,
Terry Sykes says Denver's at 5,280. So
yeah. So
just that's very interesting. Kelly said her boiling point's 190 where she lives. Yeah, I just never knew that.
Yeah, we've been other places in the world. We really, really have. But I remember when we went skiing in Denver at Breckenridge.
Breckenridge, yeah.
That was before we had any kids. That's been almost 30 years ago.
Probably 30 years ago.
And I remember them cooking, and cooking was different, but I don't remember. And I know, gosh, I couldn't do nothing with my hair up there. It was flat. I just wore it slicked back in the ponytail.
I think we tried to barbecue outside and we couldn't get a fire to stay burning or something.
I don't remember that, but that would have been the guys doing that.
It was weird.
But anyway, but when Tara was here, she came out and her hair, she'd picked up, washed her hair and blow dried, and her hair was all fluffy. I said, "Oh, your hair's fluffy." She said, "Yeah, it's really fluffy," but it was a lot different here. So, well, you're welcome, Sandy. I got to speak with Sandy yesterday. I can't remember. Was it yesterday? Anyway, she was about her sourdough. So she's up in Canada, and so she is working, getting her sourdough going. So I'm anxious to see pictures, Sandy. As soon as you get it going, I want to see some pictures.
Yeah, this is Nanda says she said I can cook fried chicken like a boss at home. Tried to do it for her son in Colorado Springs, and it was a huge fail.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally different stuff.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Stephanie, the farmer's market hadn't started yet. Cousin Stephanie.
No,
what
not
time
yet.
and where? But it's going to be downtown Brookhaven, 7 to 12:30 on Fridays.
Yeah, 7:30, 12:30. It start opening up June 1st. We are having a farmers market meeting this month, and we'll talk with the farmers a little more. But I don't think anybody's going to have anything ready or enough to open the market early. So last year we were able to, and this year
It's just been too cold.
there was a lot of stuff that. Well, I mean, it really did warm up fairly early, enough to plant and everything.
True.
But the rain and everything has really held off the planting. So.
I'm looking at my watch right now. It's 50 degrees. It's 49 degrees in the greenhouse right now in Mississippi. That's crazy.
And Amy asked if we're going to Tara's meetup in July. Well, we talked about it. We really did. But that is going to be right in the middle of, it's going to be full swing of the market and everything, and so we just can't swing it.
Just can't swing it.
Yeah, we can't swing that this time. But
Yeah,
I would love to. I'm gonna get up there and see her. If I go, I might take a train by myself and go. What you
Sandy,
think?
yeah, do it. Sandy made some cheese and onion twists and cinnamon rolls today.
Oh, the cheese and onion twists. That
Wow.
sounds good.
Homestead Remembrance said their farmers market started the first week of March.
Well, they probably brought cold foods, though, cold
Oh,
weather
yeah,
foods,
I
and
guess so.
everything. So,
I guess so.
and we really haven't had the volume of customers. We actually tried to do a fall market and everything, and it was fair. I don't know if the farmers will do that again. We really need more farmers, and it just seems like when the kids go back to school in August, it just dies off.
Kim Farmer said it was 80 degrees Friday in Kentucky, and they're expecting snow flurries tonight.
Really?
Man.
Wow.
That's crazy. All right, so
Sandy, I bet you they were as good as mine. Come here, my oldest daughter. Come here. I want y'all to see
Come on.
Chelsea. She's my
Come say hey.
She's my little twin.
everybody
people
would
say.
love to see Tomas's mommy.
Y'all don't get to
Been on here so many
y'all don't get to see her as much as the rest of the kids. This is Chelsea. She had her little photo shoot today.
Really? We gotta announce that?
Yes, because she is graduating with a bachelor's in chemistry. Is that the name, how you say it? I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Bachelor's in chemistry. We're very proud of her.
She's the chemist of the family, and we're
It's
very
Not
proud
do
of
any
her.
more chemistry.
Yeah. She's about tired of chemistry now, so.
It's been a rough
Yeah,
go, huh?
That organic
Okay, bye.
chemistry was the worst. So.
No, I loved organic. It's all the stuff that came after it.
Oh, wait, what was the one?
Inorganic?
Physical.
Physical chemistry.
Oh,
Whatever.
Calculus mixed with chemistry. It's not fun.
I don't know about any of that stuff, so.
They say hey. Everybody's saying hey.
Yep.
And congrats.
Congratulations, yes.
All right, we're 10 minutes down, and I got 2 tips to get to. You ready?
And they're talking about the weather and lots of congrats to you, Chelsea. But the freeze warning, southern tip in Illinois tonight. Read that Mark and Jamie. Wow.
Oh, sorry, Jack is sick. Tara,
Oh,
tell him we said to
no.
get better.
Get better, Jack.
All right. Time for marriage tips for men. And tonight you're getting a twofer. I decided to do 2 of them because they're kind of related. Here's the first marriage tip for men. Rule number 1. Never do or say anything away from your wife that you would not do or say right in front of her face. I just put in front of her there. You talk about keep you out of trouble. men, if you make it a practice to never do or say anything when your wife's not around that you wouldn't do or say right when she's right there, that'll keep you out of trouble. You could also say, Dad, never do or say anything that you wouldn't do or say right in front of your little girl, right in front of your son, your little toddler son. That'll save you a lot of heartache and keep you out of trouble. See, these rules are not complicated. These marriage tips are simple. Some of them, a good many of them do apply to the wife as well as the husband. So I think that's fair to say, ma'am, never do or say anything away from your husband that you would not do or say right there in front of your husband. It's pretty self-explanatory. The second tip, your two for one special tonight, is never speak ill of your spouse, ever. All right? Here's a recap. Never do or say anything away from your wife that you wouldn't do or say right in front of her. And never speak ill of your wife, ever. Listen, I have been in the presence of people who make jokes about their wife and call her the old lady or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he never called me that.
No, and I know some. Listen, some husbands and wives that I can see,
joke,
right,
yeah.
or terms of endearment.
Yeah,
I get that. If
yeah.
there's I'll concede that.
I wouldn't take it that way. So
Right.
of course he's never said that.
Right. So I get it that there are some couples who the use of such terms to each other, my old man, my old lady, they use that lovingly as terms of endearment. I get that, and that's not what I'm talking about.
But sometimes it's used, another way.
Right. But to the old ball and chain, I mean, come on. Come on. So never, ever speak ill of your wife to another human being. If you got problems with your wife, talk to her and talk to God and let it stop there. I guess I could go on with more rules. Never let your kids see you arguing. I mean, it's good to let your kids know how to work things out, but
and
never speak ill of your spouse to your children. Certainly.
And I mean, our kids know that our life has been real. In your bedroom, in your drawer.
Tomas is naked just off the screen.
He's got his towel.
He just got out of the bathtub. Where's my clothes?
I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. Our kids know.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have knockdown dragouts or anything like that in front of our kids. We really didn't have that many knockdown dragouts. But anyway, I mean, my kids knew that
We've never had a knockdown drag out, period.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, I mean, our kids would know that mostly it would be me, would get aggravated with her dad for whatever reason or whatever. Because I mean,
good reason.
I would be short or just the way I would answer him back, which was wrong on my part. I know, but I have the Persic face. Remember, I've got that too. But so I mean, I don't want y'all to think we made our kids think we lived in a fairy tale land where we never said a cross word to each other or anything like that. But we did keep our arguments or our disagreements not out in the open in front of them, like that, because it was between me and Tommy, and we didn't want them to, and we didn't have that many and don't have that many disagreements or arguments or whatever. But so we...
Well, and again, just to reaffirm something you said at the beginning of that little piece, is that it wasn't that we wanted to paint an unrealistic picture for our kids.
Unrealistic, that was the word.
No, we didn't do that. They knew that we had difficulties, but they knew that those difficulties were things that we were going to work through together out of their presence, because we didn't need to add the stress to them. Because I've heard, I don't have this in my rules because somebody else thought it up, and it's brilliant. The best gift that a man can give to his children is to love their mother. And kids need to grow up knowing that daddy loves mommy. and from a father's perspective. And there's no more important gift other than introducing them to Jesus Christ, of course. But in terms of the world, the most important gift a man can give his children is to love their mother. And so we wanted our kids to know that I loved her enough to not take any chance of degrading her in front of them. Certainly not by name calling and that kind of thing, but even just trying to win an argument. You know, I don't know if I've talked about this rule, but one of my most important rules is it's better to have peace than to be right. I just got distracted because I was making sure Tomas was dressed because apparently his towel was open.
Sorry,
a few moments
y'all.
ago.
Surprise, Papa!
Yay!
He's surprised.
Yay!
Yellow.
He's dressed.
He didn't know he did that. So
Okay,
we'll just,
anyway.
Sorry about that.
Interesting. So anyway, that's your 2 for 1. Let me go back and recap finally just for the end of that. Rule number 1, never do or say anything away from your wife that you wouldn't do or say right in front of her. And the second rule number 1 is never speak ill of your spouse. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And that's that. So next week, I don't know if you'll get a twofer again, but we'll cover another marriage tip for me. All right, what we got? Well, thanks, 1870s Homestead. We love having you here. We appreciate it. Boy, listen to that. Good word, Nanda. I've heard that too. A daughter learns how she should be treated by a husband by watching how her father treats her mother.
That's right.
That's right. And I have been cognizant of that my whole married life, or especially since I became a Christian. That's true. AldermanFarms. That's right, Christy. Life on the farm just got real.
Yeah, a little too real tonight.
Well, we might get flagged. We might get flagged for that. So
Yeah.
if this one gets demonetized, I'll know why.
Can you go back in and edit this video after
Nope.
it's posted?
Nope. She said it wasn't too bad, so that's
Okay.
good. All right, what else?
Yeah, that's what 1980 said. How a man treats his mama is a good indication of how he will treat his wife. Very true.
That is very true.
And I've told my girls that, and I've told my boys' girlfriends that too. In a teasing way, you know, I'll tell them, you watch how he treats me. You know,
No, that's true. I just heard somebody mention that the other day about how a man treats his mama. That's true. You can learn a lot about a man by how he treats the women in his life.
That's right.
That's true. She said you'll get flagged either way. That's funny.
Guys, let me show you something.
Oh,
a
goodness.
duck call.
Well, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was something else, Tomas, and he's going to take it home and practice.
Yes, because, you know, he's got a pond where he lives, and so he could call some ducks to his pond, so he's going to take this home with him.
Watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
Wait. Okay, go.
Oh, okay. You had to turn it down. Go ahead. That's good.
Mommy, he needs to watch some duck calling videos to learn how to do it. All right, don't do it anymore because I got the sound turned way back up again.
Okay,
I need to,
1980
blow the
said
speakers.
that you can edit them, that they've done it before. You have to wait for it to be fully processed, and then you can use the YouTube editor to cut Tomas out.
Yeah, that's right. You can.
Good. You need to make sure you do
I just
that.
don't like to.
Well, you got to this time.
Well, she said you just see his belly. So
Oh.
I'll take a
Okay,
look.
yeah,
I'll
we'll
take a
look at it.
look. Yeah. All right. Anything else, Pat?
It seemed like there was something else. I'm looking at the pictures down here, y'all. That's what I'm looking at. What is that a picture of?
Where?
That right there? I can't tell what that is.
That's an old picture of
okay.
that.
Okay, I guess that's it on there.
Oh, you know what I've missed? Hang on while we look at the rest of our pictures. Please stand by for a moment while we make sure that we've shown you everything we needed to show you. Nope, I think that's it. So let us just give you a couple of reminders on the way out the door. We hope we can see you in the first week in May 5th and 6th at Tennessee Tech, Cookeville, Tennessee, at the Great Appalachian Homesteading Conference. And don't forget that in concert with, or in relation to that conference, through the weekend of the conference, you can get Patti's Sourdough Start to Finish ebook for $5 off using discount code GAHC2018. And you can get that right there.
Yep, that's right.
I hear Tomas cracking up.
Yeah, he's
laughing.
cracking. I think Corey's outside playing with the duck call with him.
Yeah.
So.
Playing with the dogs.
Oh, they're playing with the dog with the duck call? Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. So thank you very much for hanging out with us on Sunday night.
Yes.
We don't want you to hang out with us on Sunday night anymore. Because we're not going to be here.
Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central.
Starting this coming, that's right. Here's the final reminder. So starting this Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, but there's a link in the description to our calendar. We have a calendar on our website, AldermanFarms.net/calendar, and it's a link in the description. And you can subscribe to our event calendar either on iOS or Google, Android. I've got both links available on the website once you get there. And then there's also a list of pending shows on the Thursdays to come, and you can click on each one of them if you want to. So do that. And then go to your calendar and have it tell you to remind you. And we would love for you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that already. Give us a thumbs up, whether you mean it or not. It helps.
Sound is gone.
Sound is gone? I don't know. It's still coming up on mine.
I don't know. Okay. All right.
All right. So.
And yes, Valerie, keep me posted, please.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys again. We appreciate each one of you, and we will see you Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, if not before. Good night. Oh,
A verse.
gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot that. Where is my head? So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31.
Now.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, y'all.
Have a good night.
evening.